What's happening, fam? L.A.R movement still moving. Fantasy versus reality, or where we handicap our kids. Kids are gonna grow up to become adults, and I think we're not doing our kids or kids in general we're doing a disservice to them by letting them believe the fantasy. It's okay to have to say if you do all the right things and you work hard, everything's going to work out for you. That's a basic principle of teaching them karma. You do good things, you're going to get good results. You do bad things, you're going to get bad results. But we need to really talk to kids about the gray area. Like, tell them how the adult world and the real world is. Tell them how there are people in positions doing things to make sure you're not successful or to make sure you are successful. Tell them how you may work all your life for something, blood, sweat, and tears, and somebody may come in one day on a technicality and try to swoop in and steal it all away, and that's totally legal. They'll tell you that's your problem. You know, tell them how people use their own biases, stereotypes, manipulating games to get ahead, or politics, nepotism, all of that. Just tell them how it works. Tell them there's a difference between what's real and what's fair. Tell them that everybody who got an A or B or C might not necessarily be the smartest person in the class. Tell them that sometimes people give people false confidence, and other times people take away people's confidence. It's more than just their job, or your kid's the good one, or your kid's the smart one. It gets a little bit deeper than that for most people. Tell them the truth, the absolute truth. Tell them how you're supposed to believe in God, but don't let people fool you into being submissive because you believe in God, right? Teach the kids reality. Like, stop acting like we got to teach our kids that adults will prey on kids. And we got to tell people that being naive and childish does not necessarily exempt you from bad things happening to you. It's like the young girls that I know in my family. I tell them, just don't scream every time something happens. I mean, screaming will get attention to it, yeah, but just because you might have to, if somebody messes with you, you might have to scream and hit them and then run, or run and scream. You don't just because there are people who play on people just acting like they're really in danger when they're not. And this is not the society for that. Tell the young boys that, look, they're going to be grown men who are going to treat you like you're grown, because they are too scared to deal with a grown man also, so they're going to attack a kid because they feel like that's a winnable situation for them. Tell them how people who are older than you may use their age and wisdom and knowledge as a way to manipulate you financially, or to put money in their pockets in the long run. Tell them these things. Stop allowing society to pacify you as an adult to tell your children or your family members, nieces, nephews, cousins, friends of the family, friends, kids. Like, stop letting society dictate to you what you should and should not tell them, because you're doing them a disservice by not preparing them for the real world that they're going to deal with. Let them know about the pitfalls, the dangers. Let them know about the success stories. Let them know about the failures that preceded the success stories. Let them know about, it ain't gonna just, it doesn't just work out like a movie for everybody. That's an exception. That's not the norm. You know, let them know where you made your mistakes and why you're telling them to not make those mistakes. And not let these not be simple mistakes as in, oh, don't do drugs because I got hooked on drugs. Yeah, it's common sense to say don't get hooked on drugs. Like, tell them, okay, I didn't learn about stocks until I was 30. You get what I'm saying? So I'm telling you now, if you do this at 18, 19, 20, 21, by the time you get 30, you're going to have way more money than you think. Tell them that kind of stuff. Tell them how to keep a house in order, or to maintain everything they need in life. Tell them how the financial system works when they get a credit card, or buy a car, or get a mortgage, or pay rent, or how the bills are set up. Tell them the realities of life. If you do that, they'll be in a much better position as adults, in my opinion. Peace.